AITA for telling my coworkers that I didn't want to go to dinner with them again because I prefer my wife's company to theirs? Unfortunately, I, 47 male, was roped into going to a work conference recently. I am a remote worker, but sadly I was told that I needed to attend a conference that many of my coworkers go to each year due to how integral my duties were to this year's presentation, I suppose. I am not buddy-buddy with any of my coworkers or my boss, but I am professional with them. This was the first work conference I had ever been to, so I did not realize how much these things consume the entirety of the time spent there. The first 3 nights of the conference there were different dinners I had to attend after typical work hours and when over 8 hours had been spent doing work-related things at the conference already. Now, I don't really mind attending the actual conference that much. What I mind is the expectation that I spend any more time with my colleagues than necessary. In my opinion, if I've spent 8:35 at a work conference with coworkers attending work-related sessions and giving a work-related presentation, past 5 o'clock I am no longer at work. I was already rather peeved that this was not the expectation at the start, but I was at least informed of these 3 different formal/scheduled dinners once the conference schedule was released. The 4th and final night of the conference I expected would be completely mine because there was no conference-wide scheduled dinner. As such, the night before when I called my wife, I asked her if she wanted to eat dinner together, i.e. video call each other and eat together, then spend as many hours as possible chatting before going to bed, and she said that sounded lovely. We made plans to call at 7 our time, 6 where the conference was, and I was really looking forward to it, as obviously I love her and her company. Unfortunately, at lunch on the final day of the conference, my coworkers, my boss included, mentioned going to a specific restaurant. They asked if I was excited to go, and I said I was not going, but I hoped they enjoyed themselves. They acted like I smacked them, and asked what I meant. I told them I'd made plans to call my wife and eat dinner with her. I was then informed that, apparently, there is some tradition of all my coworkers eating dinner together the last night. I said I wasn't informed and we had already eaten dinner together every other night, but I hoped they enjoyed themselves. My boss then said it was something I had to attend. Then some of my coworkers agreed and said it was an important part of the conference. I told my boss and coworkers that it was outside work hours, unpaid, and not scheduled, plus I prefer my wife's company to theirs, so I was not going. They then told me I was being rude and an asshole, and that I should have expected that we would all dine together the final night. I said that was ridiculous, but my boss implied that not attending would have repercussions, so I called my wife and apologized to her, and sadly attended the stupid dinner. AITA,